Hey YouTube, wagwan, bless up and welcome back to another video. So yeah, the heat is on, guys. Summer is around the corner and the place is getting hot, and this is when you normally start having AC problems, guys. So I've been having some AC problems for the past about 3 weeks. Yeah. My AC problem started after I just repaired my knock sensor in Batavia, and I was on my way to Madison, Georgia with a load. Upon reaching Tennessee, no AC. It just stopped suddenly. So I got to Madison. I went to a repair facility to have them look at the AC, and guys, the price that they were quoting me, and I wasn't prepared to part with that amount of money to repair no AC, guys, because I just spent some money replacing my knock sensor and so on. So that wasn't in my budget. So what I did, guys, was to just go on the internet, educate myself about how automotive AC systems work, and watch some YouTube tutorials on the subject. And yeah, I just got myself some tools and I started diagnosing, and I solved the problem, guys. So this is something that you all can do, so that's why I'm making this video. What I have also learned, guys, when you get to repair facilities to look at AC, what they really want to do is just to overhaul your AC system and just charge you a bunch of money. They just want to repair all the components. They just want to replace all the components and just charge you a bunch of money. They don't want to just diagnose and find out what specifically is causing the problem and then charge for that and deal with it. No, they don't want to do that. It's always all about a bunch of money. So I went and I bought some tools in order to diagnose and fix the problem. So the first thing you're gonna need, guys, is a good manifold gauge, and you can get that at AutoZone, Advanced Auto. I don't know if they have them at Walmart. Harbor Freight has them. I bought mine at Harbor Freight, and it cost me about $68 thereabout. And you're gonna need a vacuum pump, guys, because you have to pull a vacuum before you reintroduce refrigerant in the system. So you definitely need a vacuum pump. So I got my vacuum pump for $119 at Harbor Freight. You're also gonna need, you don't definitely need that, but I bought one of them small adapter so I can connect to the small canisters of refrigerant. So I bought the refrigerant at Walmart. So I bought it for like $12 something a pop for one, and I bought 6. So after I didn't buy the vacuum pump right off the bat, because I didn't know if I would have needed the vacuum pump. So I bought the gauge, the manifold gauge set, and then I went and did some diagnosing. So you need the manifold gauge, guys, in order to diagnose certain problems. So whenever your AC is giving problems, what I've also learned is that sometimes there are some basic things that happen, and these things happen 9 out of 10 times. Either your AC compressor is not working properly, your clutch is not engaging. So if your clutch is not engaging, the compressor cannot compress the gas. And if you have a faulty expansion valve, that is also another main cause for your AC not to be working properly. Or you have a leak, and if you have a leak, that is something most times you can visually find what is going wrong, because there's a dye in the system that's mixed in with the oil, and if there's a leak, this dye it has this color you know, fluorescent color, that you'll be able to pick it up and see where the leak is. So my compressor was working okay, and you'll know the compressor is working if when you switch the chuck on and you switch your AC on, you will see that clutch spinning, and when you switch the AC system off, you'll see the clutch remain stationary, and the belt alone spinning around the pulley wheel. So that's easy to diagnose. If it's not working, guys, it could be the connection. Just pull the connection right there at the AC compressor and clean it up and see if that is a problem. Because a lot of time moisture get up into the connection during the winter time. Other than that, the clutch could be bad because the clutch operates via electromagnetism. So there's a coil there that when it's energized via introduction of electricity, it creates a magnet and allows the pulley, the clutch, to engage and the compressor to operate in order to compress the gas. So if that's not working, you can just do a simple test, a continuity test, to find out if the wiring in the clutch is good. If it's not good, just replace the compressor. You can replace the clutch only, but you know, it's just easy to buy a new compressor. So if your compressor is working okay, the next thing you need to do is to check if your expansion valve is okay. And well, do a visual check first, because you could have leaks. So you know, look around and see if where your connections are, and if your hoses are okay. You check those to see if there's any leak anywhere there. As long as there no leak, you move on, check your expansion valve. In order to check the expansion valve, this is where you're gonna need the manifold gauge set. And there's information on the internet as to how to rejig the gauges in order to diagnose what the problem is. So you just go on the internet and you'll get that information. So when I hooked up the gauge, hooking up the gauge is also straightforward and simple. You have a blue line, which is a low line, red line, which is a high line. You can't mix them up. The red fits on the high side, it can't fit on the low side, and the blue fit on the low side, it can't fit on the high side. It's set up that way. You can't mix them up. So when I hooked up the gauge, I was reading a high pressure in the low side, and when I researched, that was indicating a faulty expansion valve. So I also found a leak on the condenser. So I had two possible problems. Now, where I was at the time, I was still in Madison when I did all of that. I wasn't able to get any parts there, and I didn't buy the vacuum pump yet. So what I did, I headed to Charleston, and I went to the Freightliner in Somerville, South Carolina, and I bought. They had two types of condenser. They had the original for $500 and something, and they had a cheap aftermarket one for $260 something. Yeah, and I bought the cheaper one because I had to go and buy a vacuum pump. So you know, I opted for the cheap one because you know I'm new to this AC business, so I didn't want to spend a bunch of money on the expensive thing as yet. I wanted to see if I could remedy the situation, and you know, feel more confident after that. I'll probably just replace the cheap one later down the road. So in all, I bought that. The expansion valve cost about $30 something. Parts at the Freightliner ran me about $303. And overall, I spent a little under $500 for refrigerant and parts, vacuum pump and manifold gauge and all of that. And then I'll have them to, you know, do other work, help other friends and so on down the road. Right now I'm gonna go to Greenville. I have a friend there that one of his AC hose is leaking, and I'm gonna just help him repair. So what happened after I went and got these in Charleston? I went again, hooked up the gauge, and then there was no pressure. So that leak that I had at the condenser seems to have you know, exhausted all the gas out of the system. So I just went ahead then and removed the AC condenser, and I removed the expansion valve, replaced them, and these come with some seals. So you know, you change the seals and reconnect everything properly, and then I had to pull the connection from the compressor as well, so I could add back some oil in the system. I also bought the oil. It's a specific type of oil. I think it's PAC, something like that. I'll put it up. And anyway, I replaced all those two parts, and then pulled a vacuum on the system. When you pull a vacuum, guys, you after pulling the vacuum, you do it for about an hour, and that's what they said for a truck, you know, an hour or more. So I did it for an hour, and then after pulling the vacuum, you leave it for a while to see if there's any leak. If there's a leak, the vacuum will move from minus whatever, and it will go back to zero if there's a leak. So I had it sit for a while, and it didn't seem like I was having any leaks. Then I added refrigerant to the system, and well, the AC is working okay right now. Today I was running, and I didn't have it on you can put it on blue and green. I think green is economy, so I was on econ, and you know, it's real cool. So yeah, you know, you just need to, you know, educate yourself, guys, especially if you're a owner operator, and figure out how to do these things. You save a bunch of money. So yeah, just thought I'd let you all know that yeah, I fixed my own AC, and you can do it too, guys. So as usual, we're burning diesel, so keep on watching.